Welcome back, Real Deal, to another reaction. All right. Did Leoda Bradshaw, 34, U.S. Navy officer, allegedly plan murder for hire plot? This is something like it's not a love triangle. I thought it was a love triangle, but allegedly, Paul said that the young man right here said that he had a baby. Okay, so confused. He had a baby by a young lady. He a legislator, and he had a baby by two young ladies. But he had the newest baby by Tashana and her little girl. His little girl name was Soraya. But let's get into it, okay? U.S. Navy petty officer allegedly plotted to kill Jamaican politician daughter and her mom. Okay. Leoda Bradshaw is facing charges of murder and kidnapping, accused of hiring hitmen to kill, let's say, unalive Tashana Patterson and her daughter Soraya in Jamaica. A Miami sailor is in a Jamaica jail accused of a murder for hire scheme that left a mother and her 10-month-old unalive in Jamaica. Okay. Uh, Let me see something different. Okay. Leoda Bradshaw is the other young lady that used to date this man right here. And it's a big mess. Leoda Bradshaw, who's the U.S. Navy confirmed is a petty officer, allegedly assigned in a talent acquisition team in Miami, is now facing charges of murder and kidnapping, accused of hiring hitmen to unalive Tashana Patterson and her daughter Soraya in Jamaica. Okay. Okay. In a statement to NBC6, the Navy says it takes all allegations of misconduct seriously and is fully cooperating with appropriate investigative and law enforcement authority. The matter is currently under investigation by Jamaican authorities and the Navy Criminal Investigative Service. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecution in Jamaica alleges Bradshaw and her cousin hired hitmen to murder the child and her mother. The contracted men allegedly carried out the murder by shooting the victim and then burning them. It is one of the most painful investigations for the team since recent times. However, the team investigators continue to be professional and remain focused. So, a Jamaican official okay. The past few weeks have been extremely difficult for me as grapple with the abduction of my daughter and her mother. I have prayed unceasingly for the safe return to Shauna Patterson and my daughter Soraya, and I am heartbroken that the worst has happened. Nothing could have prepared me for the events that unfolded since last week, Thursday, and the alleged discovery. That anyone could murder a mother and an innocent baby is unimaginable, and my heart is heavy and sadness. I am praying for Tashana family, who I know are extremely the unbearable grief or pain of losing their beloved daughter and granddaughter. This is what Paul's saying. As a human being, father, lawyer, and legislator, I am hoping that all who were involved are brought to justice and punished to the fullest extent of the law. I have been in contact, dialogue, and the police and cooperated fully with the investigation. I cannot commit on the investigation nor matter before the courts, but I wish to thank the police for their tireless work. I thank the many Jamaicans who have been generous in your prayers, your kind and thoughtful expression of love, support, and solidarity for solidarity for me and my family. Thank you. Jamaica's official identified the child as the daughter of a member of the parliament, Philip Paulwell. Okay, his name is Philip, correction, not Paul, but his last name is Paulwell. In a news release, prosecutor alleged Bradshaw and Paulwell was in a relationship, and Bradshaw considered Paulwell her spouse. And allegedly, I did a reaction not too long ago that Bradshaw wasn't in a relationship with Leoda, but allegedly, she's supposed to have a kid by him. Okay. All right, yeah. Let's take a break for a minute. Let me get a little break because y'all know I got bronchitis. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay, here we go. What I want to do now is I want to, in my reaction, I used to show y'all a little brief video. So I want to do that. I'm going to show you this video, okay? Now, I'm going to say that this video right here, this content here to me is it's entertaining because it have to it give you something to think. And commenting, I want to hear from y'all over there in the chat. Comment on this video, not me, but this video, okay? And tell me what you think going on here. And also news reporting, okay? I'm going to show y'all this video right here.
I want to reassure the public that we apply the same standard to every investigation. That matter that you have referenced, I have also intervened. I've spoken to the investigators. I have looked at the evidence that is available, but we are still pursuing that investigation. And if you know how we do our thing, we don't make a lot of noise when we do investigation. We investigate and then we speak after. And that is the approach that we have been taking. And we will continue to take this approach in all investigation. We investigate and we speak after the investigation. But I want to reassure, in particular, the mother. I have spoken to her personally that her matter is not neglected. We continue to focus on it, and we will pursue all leads and use all the resources that we have to bring closure, because I think everybody wants closure to their case. I just want to point out that whilst we cannot tell an individual how they should live their lives, but one must be cautious with the type of relationship that they engage in. And in that particular matter, we believe that certain instruction was issued by a convict within a penal institution. And we are doing our probe, we are continuing our probe because we want to bring closure to the matter as well. I want to appeal to the public, if they know anything about that matter, to contact us at 811-311-119. There's no crime that is committed without someone seeing it. So I appeal to our good citizens and people of conscience to reach out to us.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the News 876, and we begin with a developing story. Burnt out victims in Rockfort found in police probe of Paulwell's missing baby mother and daughter. Senior police officials have declined to comment on the latest development, which comes almost since Soraya Paulwell and her mother, Toshina Patterson, were reportedly abducted from their St. Andrew home on September 9th. We have a crime scene, and we believe that the bodies were taken there and disposed of. It's possible that they were killed at that location, said a member of the security forces who was not authorized to comment. We are processing the scene. We don't know what we will come up with. Earlier today, Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitz Bailey disclosed 4 persons have been arrested in relation to the case, and that the matter has morphed into a complex case of kidnapping and conspiracy to murder. According to Fitz Bailey, the evidence collected so far is strong, and that the investigation is far advanced. He said the 4 persons are to undergo a series of administrative procedures before formal charges are considered. DCP named 34-year-old petty officer in the United States Navy Leoda Bradshaw, who shares a child with Paulwell, among the persons in custody. Attorney-at-law Deborah Martin, who is representing Bradshaw, said her client has provided a statement and her cell phone to the police. I have not had any disclosure. Bradshaw issued a statement on September 10th in which she said, I wish to state categorically that I have absolutely nothing to do with the disappearance of Ms. Tashina Patterson and her baby girl. This is scary and comes at a time when I have been threatened by scammers who have hacked my phone and banking data and are demanding money to release them, he said in a statement on September 9th. Now to our next topic, with cops probing prisoner involvement in Medic's disappearance. Deputy Commissioner...
Okay. I'm going to stop it right there.
And her 10-month-old child, I deem it necessary to provide to the public the official brief at this time. On Saturday, September 9, 2023, a missing person report was made to the police.
Okay, I think that's something else. But let me see.
At the St. Andrews Central Division regarding the disappearance of Miss Tashina Patterson and her 10-month-old child, Sahara Paulwell, from their home.
Well, let me back it up then, y'all. Let me back it up, because I need to back it back then to here. Because they showed another girl here. I didn't understand that. It threw me off. That one, here we go, right here.
Continuing our probe, we want closure. Bailey noted on Friday that the police are taking the disappearance of Medic seriously, pointing out that he has spoken to her mother, Millicent McCurdy, who staged a protest outside of the Constant Spring police station recently. Admitting that not all cases that come before he police can be solved, the DCP assured that the same standards are applied when investigating cases. He noted that he has personally looked at her file and has spoken with investigators in the matter.
I want to reassure the public that we apply the same standard to every investigation. That matter that you have referenced, I have also intervened, I've spoken to the investigators, I have looked at the evidence that is available, but we are still pursuing that investigation. And if you know how we do our thing, we don't make a lot of noise when we do an investigation. We investigate and then we speak after. In light of the misinformation swirling in the public domain regarding the disappearance of Miss Tashina Patterson and her 10-month-old child, I deem it necessary to provide to the public the official brief at this time. On Saturday, September 9, 2023, a missing person report was made to the police at the St. Andrews Central Division regarding the disappearance of Miss Tashina Patterson and her 10-month-old child, Sahara Paulwell, from their home at 3 Galmore Drive, Kingston 20. Since then, this investigation has morphed into a very complex case of kidnapping and conspiracy. The quality and potency of the evidence amassed thus far has led us to take into custody 4 persons in relation to this investigation. One of those persons is Miss Leoda Bradshaw, a 34-year-old petty officer in the U.S. Navy. The investigation is still ongoing. However, it is at an advanced stage. We continue to appeal to anyone with information to make contact with us. We also continue to engage our stakeholders. The persons in custody will go through a series of administrative procedures before formal charges are considered. At that time, an update will be provided to the nation through the press. As I indicated, there's a lot of misinformation that is swirling in the public. And we think, in particular, with Ms. Bradshaw, we have evidence that we could advance a case at this time. But we want to ensure that we cross every T and dot every I. And so there are a number of things that are ongoing. And so we want to ensure that those have come to a conclusion before we proceed with the formal charging of her. Well, we are looking at a case of kidnapping. We are looking at a case of conspiracy to murder and other charges that will flow from that. I am convinced when I look at the material that the evidence that we have garnered so far is very strong and very can stand up to any scrutiny in any court of law. And I must seize the opportunity to commend the people, the officers who are actually conducting this investigation. Another effort, it shows commitment, it shows tenacity. It shows that they really have the interests of this nation and the interests of justice at heart. And just as how the family members have a desire to see a closure to this matter, I think the officers are committed to ensure that the family members, they get closure to what I consider to be a very unfortunate situation, one that really forces any individual with a conscience to cringe.
It is not often that we see the kind of response that we saw with the young men from BB Coke and how they assisted their fellow student, Jahid. The level of social dissonance that we see, particularly in our schools, particularly with the use of violence, can sometimes totally erode. What we saw being displayed is a reaffirmation that the core of our society is still good, and that there are people, young people in our society, without conflict, that will act in the interest of their fellow men. The truth is,
okay, I'm gonna stop it right there. Okay, we're gonna come back here. Tell me what you think, real deal. I'm gonna bring content to you, but we got to talk together, okay? Like, share, and subscribe. Jamaicans, y'all, anybody is entitled to be involved on this channel, okay? In the chat. Love y'all. I'm out.